Well, price action is very interesting in crypto. Today we're going to have the very important conversation around payments. You know, there's two payment favorites, XRP and XLM, but we're seeing some movement from the banks and institutions, and well, they're not really choosing to go with either. What does this mean for those two projects and any other project that has hung their hat on getting a market share of the payment world? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about where the market is headed to next. Are we actually in a bear market? I know it feels like we have this conversation all the time, but we just need to remind people. Maybe some of you, it's your first time popping into the show and you're wondering what the hell's going on with crypto. We're going to give our thoughts. We don't think the bull market is over, but I do have another thesis I'll share with you on today's show. We'll talk a little bit about gaming. We're doing a giveaway. We're giving away some Sire tokens. We'll share what that giveaway is. We'll look at the markets and we'll try to figure out which ones are going to continue to see inflows moving forward, whether Bitcoin's price is up or down over the next 2 to 3 months. We're going to talk about that and much, much more on today's episode. Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. You take old, boring, stale information, repackage it all up in a Vegas kind of way. You know what? Just like Vegas, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, but it's all about having a good time.
Always having a good time.
Tell you what, man. You know what I did?
Tell me what.
Or what I did this morning?
Nothing.
I bought Solana.
Wow.
Put a big position on Solana.
Wow.
183 is where I bought. Currently at 183. I haven't made any money yet. However,
follow for more tips.
I do think that I just saw this bottom out at this 174 during that crash on Friday. It got to about 177, 174 again, basically. And I think that was the bottom for Bitcoin. Being the bottom for Bitcoin, I think that we've been talking about it, at least I have, all week, is that ever since we crashed down from 113, hit 105, and then bounced right back up to 110, I've always been like, hey, when this happens, you're going to go back down, test the bounce spot again, right? We bounced on 105. We're going to get down there again. I felt pretty confident about it. Here we are. And we were only at 105 very briefly. So if you look, it was from, this is our time. So 1 in the morning to 8 in the morning. Now, we're $1,000 off. So I'm not trying to sit here and say this is in the rearview mirror. However, if I had to pick a direction, if I had to tell you which one am I leaning, I think that was the bottom. I think that we're back up to 107, 108. And I think that 105 is now in the rearview mirror. And if that's the case, what do I want to have it exposure to? What positions do I want to have? Well, one, we have a pending Solana ETF, also one for Litecoin and XRP and Avalanche and a host of other projects. But very excited about the Solana ETF. I think that one's going to bring in a much needed surge of liquidity, interest in the market. We do need the damn government to open back up. Donald Trump, man, stop it. Stop it. You're over here slinging mud at the trade walls or barriers or whatever it is. I'm trying to trade and you're messing up the trade. No more trade wars because I'm on the front lines here, man.
He heard you.
So anyways,
Wow.
Cut it with the damn tariffs.
Cut it.
Open up the damn government.
Open it.
Let's get the Solana ETF going, because once the government reopens, it's going to happen soon. Just a question of when. This week, probably not. Next week, probably. And so when that happens, ETFs will go live. Bitcoin have already put in a bottom. Maybe this tariff thing will be in the rearview mirror. Who knows? That I'm not sure. But
at this point, I don't think it has to do with tariffs. The market's going down.
I kind of agree.
Stock
I
market.
think it was the catalyst, right? It was what got the ball.
Everything's up except crypto. Stock market's up, Nasdaq's up, Dow's up, S&P's up. The Russell's down. Bitcoin's down. Crypto's down.
Yeah, but it's really not. It's not up anything like intense.
It's pretty close to all-time highs, and
Nasdaq's up a fraction of a percent.
it's still up.
0.1%.
The Nasdaq.
Yeah, and Bitcoin is up 2%. So it seems pretty correlated here, right? Nasdaq's up just a hair. Bitcoin's up just a hair. Yeah. So, tariffs.
The Nasdaq is up 2% after Friday's washout. Bitcoin is down 6% after Friday's washout. So that's an 8% swing there, my friend. Also, gold is up. Gold is up as well.
The Nasdaq took a tumble on Friday's news.
Yeah, that's my point. Is it recovered? It's up 2% since then.
No, Friday's news,
Mm-hmm.
which was on the 13th, it was at 22,694, and we're currently at 22,585. So
The Nasdaq is up. Stop looking at that's not a chart. Look at this. This is a chart. This is the Nasdaq.
Okay. Look at that big red candle.
Correct.
What was the price at the top of the candle? What was the price at the top of the
You
candle?
don't measure the top. You measure the bottom. Since it bottomed out,
Okay.
it's up 1%. Or no, it's up 2%.
So Bitcoin also bottomed at 104. So technically it's up 2% as well.
No, it's not. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin close, or here, Bitcoin wick. Well, here's the problem. It just depends on what exchange you're using.
The thing is if you're trying to say that Nasdaq is outperforming Bitcoin after the collapse, they both collapsed. They're both down from before the collapse, and they barely or have moved up. Barely.
But Bitcoin hasn't really moved up, though.
Neither has the Nasdaq. That's my whole point.
Yes, it has. It's moved up. 2%.
Look. It has not moved up, bro. It's still down prior to the crash. And okay, from the very bottom here, yes, you're correct. From 222 to 225, yes, it's up from the very scrape bottom. But if you're supposed to look at the very scrape bottom for Bitcoin, it is up as well. The very scrape bottom here is 103. So it's the same shit. If you want to say you're 10% more correct and it's a fraction more Nasdaq, cool. I'm not saying that the correlation is mathematically exactly the same. It's not. But they both fall. They both bounce a touch. Anyways, Nasdaq is put in the bottom, my opinion. Bitcoin put in the bottom, 105. Alts are in a good position to buy. I put in my position on Solana. I think Solana comes back first, and I'm putting my money there.
I think Bitcoin gets to 100 or a little bit lower.
What did we see? And it's not gonna be good for alts if that happens. I agree. I think 105 was the bottom. But what happened right prior to that? What happened with the bounce on Solana? Look at Solana chart. Solana dropped to 174. Look at the bounce on that.
Are you talking about this one or this one? The one right now?
No. From the 13th of Friday.
So this was So Friday was the 10th.
It should be there. Yeah.
It rallied 22.5%.
Yeah. It got over $200 from the 174, and I think that it's gonna push up past $200 if Bitcoin stays over 107, it'll be 200 plus by Monday. That's what my vibe is.
So Solana is one of the few altcoins that is still trading above its 200-day moving average, but barely. But a lot of these alts on the daily are printing head and shoulders patterns. And so I do think there's a little more downside, but to me, I don't mind. I don't care. That's totally fine with me. We'll get into some of the news, but I do want to first give a shout out. Today's show is brought to you by Revolution Mining. If you're looking to partake in some Bitcoin gains, look no further than Revolution Mining, based out of Texas. You can buy some of their high-powered, up-to-date, state-of-the-art hydro ASICs at cost, and then you just literally do nothing else. You give it to them, they maintain it, they pay, you don't got to worry about paying storage fees, maintenance fees, no deposits, no nothing. Your kilowatt per hour is charged at a fixed rate. And then once it's time to rake in the cash, it's a 50-50 split. And again, you don't got to worry about maintaining them, upgrading them if they're new, or really anything. So it's a kind of a set it and forget it thing. And so if you're serious about maybe getting some of these Bitcoin mining rewards, we're expecting maybe difficulty starts to go down as prices go down. Therefore, profits are less for miners. And well, if there's an imbalance, you might start seeing some of them take away some ASICs from the system, right? Plug out, which will drop the hash rate, which will drop the difficulty, which means a bigger and better rewards for you. And so if you want more info, those links in the description. Big thanks to Revolution Mining for bringing you today's show. Okay, let's talk about this. This is interesting. So we usually look at Bitcoin on a per month basis. Here's a per week basis. Bitcoin 40th and 41st week, which is where we're 41st week is where we're at now. 40th week was last week. We if this holds, this would be the worst 2-week stretch in October that we've ever had, up from the moment that this was being tracked in 2013, right? Minus 6.6% last week, currently at minus 7.4% this week. The last time we saw back-to-back weeks in October with negative was in 2023, 0.034% in the negative, which is really a wash, and then 2.72%. And then the 2 weeks after, on average, 12.5% per week for Bitcoin. That was in 2023. The time before that was in 2018. That was during a bear market. And even then, the 40th week saw a 0.19% downside, which is, again, a wash. And then the following was 4%. And then we had a 4% week after, and then it was, hey, we're in a bear market. So there's a lot of things that have happened this cycle that we haven't really seen happen before. And so we always joke about, oh, this time is different. This time really is different. And so I kind of have a thesis here. I think the Great Reset, and some of you might say, well, that's been happening. I will say that the washout of all the leverage on Friday, now we're seeing some spot holders start to get shaken out of the markets. 90% plus of alts are going to start trending to zero. That number is probably higher. Pay attention to what projects continue to see inflows and adoption. Those are the chosen ones. Now, you can argue that, hey, we could potentially see another everything runs rally, but you would need massive economic stimulation. You would need to see the average retail investor buy into crypto and have the money to buy into crypto as well. For the time being, we're not really seeing that yet. And so to me, it's very simple, right? We tend to overcomplicate things, myself included sometimes. And it's very simple. If prices are going to continue to go up, or if in fact we are in a bull market and we are going to see some projects continue to thrive, well, where's that money coming from? That money is coming from banks, from institutions, from hedge funds, from sovereign wealth funds, from potentially countries. And then you look at, okay, well, what are the companies that are actually looking to bridge over to Web3 and build in Web3 and kind of move their financial rails from old to new, from legacy to new? And where are they going to be putting their money, and where are they going to have to put their money? And then you start to isolate. And the beauty of this is, for those of you that maybe it's your first or second cycle, the beauty is when you start seeing sentiment down, prices are either chopping or trending down, it's a lot easier to spot winners. It's a lot easier to spot solid projects that you can comfortably invest your money into and not be fearful of this thing going to zero or it's not going to get adoption. It's much easier, right? It's like it's just been raining and there's fog, and all of a sudden the rain stops, the clouds part, and there's the sunshine. You're like, oh, well, there. Like, I can see clearly, right? What's that song? I can see clearly now. But I was waiting for you to make fun of me there, but I guess not. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to spot out projects. We'll be there with you to help guide you on that as well. You guys already know what I'm bullish on, and that has not changed. That has not changed. Take a look at Sire. This thing's up 11% today. Bounced off this trend line. We talked about this yesterday. This is a project that I feel comfortable holding through. Let's just say we're in a bear market or we're in an extended bear rally. I would feel very comfortable not only holding this, but continuing to buy it. You look at things like the betting markets, Polymarket. Polymarket does not give a shit if crypto is up or down. People are going to still put money in predictions markets. 1.4 million traders over 51,000 markets with 28.6 million positions and rising. So our inflow is still going. You look at yesterday, what happened with the Sire vaults, filled up in a matter of minutes. The first tranche, seconds. The second one, it like even people who clicked the buy button or clicked the stake button, as soon as it opened, they weren't able to get in. So we know predictions markets are going to be there. So start looking at, well, what projects in crypto are like kind of either adjacent to or directly involved in predictions markets. As a whole, BitTensor, you can argue, Sports Tensor, they have like probably 5 or 6, I would probably even more, subnets that are in the predictions markets. And so as an overall whole, BitTensor is going to benefit from that. Specific AI agents, platforms like Polymarket, we know they're coming out with a token. You can look at the L1s or L2s that some of these prediction markets are built on. So this is where your mind should be going. Then you look at another project I've been talking about, which is Wire. Although this is down 11% today, we talked about this around 6. Even with today's downturn, it's still up 40% over a 10-day period. And why were we bullish on this? Because they do what's never going to stop, whether it's a bull or a bear market, which is over-the-counter settlement, right? They're looking to acquire a bank. So these are things you got to get your brain jogging to. And if you do that, you'll pick up the right projects. You'll still probably be able to scalp some profits and make some money, even if everything is trending down. That would be my recommendation too. That is what I'm going to be doing. That is what I'm going to be sharing with our community, whether it's our Patreon members. I think they'll get the alpha first. Discord community. So if you're not in our Discord, go join our Discord. And then just watching the show. A lot of people make the mistake of, my portfolio's down, I'm just going to tune crypto out. No, your portfolio's down. This is where you look to learn. Where's new money going to flow into? Where's money flowing out of? Where's money flowing into? So this is where you make your money, not when everything's rallying 60, 70%. The work's already been done. Now you're just reaping the rewards of the work you put in. I know I went on a long tangent there, but say something.
Something.
Okay. Beautiful. Any thoughts on kind of what I just went over? What's kind of your, what's your strategy here with, you know, if this is a longer term bear rally? I'm not even gonna say bear market, but a bear rally. Let's say it's 4 or 5 weeks of just chop down, chop down, chop down. What's kind of your strategy? And what are you?
My personal way of navigating this is I do not take risk. And so, I mean, we have different investment strategies. I wouldn't touch anything outside the top 10 at this moment. And for that reason is because I'm not sure if we keep 100,000. And if you lose 100,000, and perhaps, you know, this is perhaps the top is in. I don't believe so, but I didn't also think the top was in last cycle. We are post-halving right in that time window where if you were to follow 4-year cycles, we should be right around toppy time. And you also had that infamous 2023 tweet where we had top printed, and then ever since then we've not been at the top. And so for me, I'm erring on the side of caution because I don't want to lose a lot of money, bro. It's pretty simple. I reduce my risk in times of uncertainty. And if we had a clear reversal and a sign that things were going back in the right direction, I'll go down the risk curve. I got no problem making money and putting in positions. I'm still trading. I'm still making money. However, I'm not playing around with the small caps. Not going to do it. Let me ask you something. If you're in a small cap, what happens if Bitcoin drops down to 90,000? You're in a small cap, you're toast, bro. Maybe it bounces back in 6 months. I ain't playing that game, bro. So for me, I'll play around with the big boys. They're going to have less volatility compared to the smaller ones. They'll be the first to bounce back as well. Let me ask you, if we started scraping down under 100K, what would be the first thing to bounce back when we get back over 100K? It's going to be the large caps. And myself personally, I took a position on Solana. Why? What was the first thing to bounce back this bull market out of last bull market? When Bitcoin puked on itself and it was at 17,000 or 14,000, whatever it was, in 2022, what was the first altcoin to pump? David?
No idea.
You have no idea what was the first altcoin to pump?
No.
In 2022?
Caspa.
No, it was Solana. Solana was the first one. Solana was under $10. It was the first altcoin to go. And for me, I think that in questionable times where you don't know where Bitcoin's price is going to end up, I got a lot of faith in Solana to do a quick bounce back. There you go. That's where I'm at.
Cool. So there's two different types of traders right now. There's two different types of holders. There's this holder here where, please, just go back to my entry. I don't even want profits anymore. I just want my money back, please. Well, guess what, guys? You can't get refunds. And then there's a second holder, and it's the president's family. Eric Trump says the Trump family has made more than $1 billion from crypto. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So you're either making money or you're praying.
It's a good time. Good time to tweet that one.
Yeah.
Real good time.
Read the room, man. Read the room. All right, let's go to the markets.
I mean, I'm making money too, but yeah, I mean, I'm not tweeting about it. Yeah. But I'm also down on the portfolio, like anyways. Long term down, short term up. Now, altcoins. Let's take a look. Where are you at? A lot of red. Taking a look at what's up. Only Athena up 8%.
Oh, wow. Who's been talking about Athena? That's cool.
Yeah. Everything else down.
That's my point, guys.
And then what's down the most? AAVE, Aster, Flare, ICP, BitTensor. Everything's getting punched. Caspa. Yeah. If you look what's down the least, though, on the on here after you get through the stable coins, what's holding up the best? Pump.fun, but it took a shellacking this week, so it's down 32%. So this and Litecoin have pulled back significantly, but yeah, I guess Polygon's maybe the first altcoin that's holding up the best on the week and the 24. But I wouldn't buy it. Your large caps are the ones that are holding up the best. Down the least on the week plus 24 hours is Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Stellar. So, are you buying anything at this point?
Well, we got Stellar and XRP on the thumbnail. Let's talk about that. The whole shtick for XRP and Stellar has always been payments and replacing Swift. And yeah. And we're starting to see, it's starting to happen. Banks, PayPal launched their own stablecoin on the ETH network. Bank of America, we shared news 2 weeks ago that the top like 6 banks are coming together to launch their own stablecoin. Nothing to do with XRP, nothing to do with XLM. So the question then becomes, does that, are we starting to see that investment thesis get invalidated? Right? If you solely bought XRP or XLM because you thought it was going to replace the banks and SWIFT and payments, global payments, we're going to run on that from everyday users, and if that's not happening, what do you do? Do you sell your positions? Do you stop buying? Or does it reverse? Or is there some sort of other thesis that is at play here? But I think it's pretty clear. SWIFT is not being replaced. SWIFT is upgrading. Okay. Banks are getting into stable coins, but they're launching their own. Okay. So I don't know. Where are you at with that?
I have the same outlook on XRP and Stellar as I've had all year. And it's extremely simple. Great long-term play. I don't really care about it right now. It already had a very strong rally post SEC decision led by XRP, followed by Stellar. The two ran in tandem. And my whole thesis, everything about where the price is going, is off the fact that traditional finance moves painfully slow, especially when it comes to infrastructure. Now, services, they'll onboard that crap quickly, right? For a hedge fund or an asset manager, portfolio manager, retirement, whatever you want to call it, for them to offer Bitcoin, to buy Bitcoin, is not anything revolutionary. Offering a new service is not that big a deal, right? Changing and gutting how you operate and redoing the hundreds of years of work that has been done to get technology to where it is now, and just saying, you know what, we're going to scrap this and go with the new guy, that takes time. That takes a lot of time. And so for me, I adamantly believe in XRP. I do not think you should sell. I do not think the pullback is going to be that strong. However, I'm not buying at this time because I am going to make more money holding other alts that are building quickly, that are getting adopted quickly, that are getting dApps and users, and that are accelerating at a quicker pace. Now, the biggest pool of liquidity, the most money out here, the way to grow your market cap is to tap into the traditional markets and the banks. That's what XRP and Stellar are doing. It just takes a while for those relationships, those deals, and that infrastructure to get built out. So 4 or 5 years, great. Yeah, I'm down. Give me XRP all day. Next 12 months, I'm going to make a lot more money holding other stuff than XRP. Solana winter, Solana Christmas is coming. And I also think that ETH will do well as well. And then it'll trickle down to the ecosystem. So currently, where price of Bitcoin is now, I'll hang out in the big boys, the layer ones. Then I'll roll my profits down into the ecosystem plays as those become more lucrative, as Bitcoin's price accumulates, as profits start to roll down. Follow the money. Follow the money and make the money. You sit back and follow the community and hang out in little echo chambers and be like, XRP is the greatest thing in the world. I'm not going to buy anything. It's all crap. Nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't suggest it. Not if you're trying to expedite your growth process. What up, David?
I'm looking at, I was looking at so I haven't looked at this in a while, the money flow. And so this is net outflows. Looks like Solana on a 1 week period has led outflows, 544 million going into stables. XRP, 270 million. Interestingly enough, though, 58.5 has flowed into Bitcoin from XRP. And then you have it into stables. Hyperliquid seeing about 159, Doge 170, ADA 80 million. ADA all of it has flowed directly into stables. Net inflows, Solana has seen 73 million of net inflows. So their net is still like minus 400 million, 400 some odd million. XRP's net, right? 73, so about 100 million, or excuse me, about 200 million net outflow for XRP. So this is another tool you can use to see where money's flowing. Although this is, I wouldn't put too much weight on this. You can go by different time frames. This is on the week. So I just picked the highest time frame. You can go to the daily and just see kind of where the trends are going. But yeah, for me, you know, we actually have some Ripple news to share with you in a little bit, but I don't know. I'm a little confused with the XRP and XLM thesis. Maybe it's not taking over the financial rails. Maybe it's something smaller. I don't know. And is that
you not agree that gutting current infrastructure for payment processing and banks and how money moves is going to take a while? Because I mean,
but you're already starting to see it, and we're not really seeing.
Well, where are you starting to see it? What payment infrastructure has been built and that is currently being used? Now, banks are offering services, but they're not changing. I have yet to find an app that a Bank of America app, a Wells Fargo app, a Chase app that lets me send crypto. You know, like I can Zelle all day long. If I go to send money internationally, I still gotta use Swift, but there is no service by banks that has stable coins. And it's not now if Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo, if they said, "Hey, we're giving you the ability to send money internationally or to send peer-to-peer, user-to-user through crypto, and this is how we're doing it," and it would be something other than Stellar and XRP, my concern would be elevated, right? I think there's going to be multiple platforms that are going to offer these services. However, if XRP and Stellar are not included in those services for the first couple that get offered, then I would be worried. But currently, they haven't done it. And so my whole thing is like, I understand they're working with Swift, but it still isn't a crypto chain. Swift is not crypto. Swift is meeting with Chainlink. Swift is integrating it. Swift is starting to use it, but Swift is not a blockchain. And I've yet to see a bank offer anything than, "Hey, we'll let you buy crypto." And so for me, it's like, what did you expect it? I didn't. I've been saying this whole year. I'm like, bro, this is going to move slow. It's going to take time. That's why I got no interest in buying XRP in the parabolic time of the bull market. When Bitcoin moves from 60,000 to 400,000, I have no interest in XRP because there's too much money to be made in that time window, and banks aren't going to convert over like this. They've been building since the advent of the credit card, since Visa. That's when we changed over from a analog system where handwritten things and letters. And with the Visa network, that's when the banks started doing digital electronic payments and movement of money. Now, the ledger is still the same, but it's just on Visa. Now we're getting to a point where they have to start changing it. It's going to take time. And in 4 years, yeah, I'm down, bro. Long-term hold of XRP all day. But I don't know. You think the banks have all adopted crypto and left out
No, that's not what I'm saying. We're starting to see, Swift has been working with Chainlink for 2 years. DTCC, same thing. Euroclear, same thing. The banks came out and announced that they're going to launch their own stablecoin. I mean, you're just not hearing any. Like, we've been working with XRP or XLM.
Who's launching a stablecoin?
The banks are.
Which one? I haven't seen it.
Well, if you paid attention when I talked during the show, you would have seen it. That was 2 weeks ago. Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo.
Which stablecoin are they launching?
They're launching their own stablecoin.
Okay. I wasn't aware that they officially said they're launching a stablecoin.
Yeah. Wasn't a lot of info, very vague. But
so then it wasn't real.
What do you mean it wasn't?
Then it wasn't a press release. If it was vague, if the banks are vaguely suggesting that I agree they are working on it, but they haven't said, hey guys, listen up. We now have a stable coin. We're launching it. They haven't launched shit. I've seen zero stablecoin on any of the banks. I don't know. Are they building it? Do they have a team behind the scenes? I'm sure they will. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it says jointly exploring issuing a stablecoin.
Exploring. Yeah, they haven't built shit. So for me, like, I can't look at XRP and be like, you guys failed.
I'm not saying they failed.
Then it's not going to happen next month either. It's not going to happen in November. It's not going to happen in December. It's not going to happen in January. It's not going to happen in February. It is going to take a painfully long time for XRP to be widely used by the banks. Painfully long. That's all I'm saying. And if you're sitting here thinking that XRP and Stellar are going to go to the moon because the banks are building a stablecoin, it ain't going to happen in the next 3 months, 6 months. That's all I'm telling you is that, like, legacy finance and banks, they move really damn slow. That's all. That's my only thing. I'm not telling you not to buy. I think if you got some money, you don't want to touch it for a few years. I think Bitcoin, XRP, and Stellar are probably three of the and Chainlink are probably your soundest investments possible, bro. I think those are like home run winners. Now, if that's part of my portfolio, it's part of my thesis. My other side is like, hey, bro, Bitcoin's going to go from 100,000 to 300, possibly 400, 500,000. There's going to be some crazy money to be made. There's going to be millions of dollars. I want to be a fucking millionaire. And so I am going to do it, not with XRP. And I don't, unless your bankroll is $250,000, you're probably not going to do it either.
Hell yeah. So good, man. So good. What was that from again? Anyways, we're doing a giveaway. Describe the state of your portfolio with a movie title. I'll go first. Collateral damage. Why collateral damage? My positions are doing good, fundamentally sound, and, well, fucking Trump and the washout, and it just was a contagion effect. Anyways, the best answer gets $50 in Sire. You got to be following us to win.
Can I tell you mine?
Hold on. Yes, but give me a second. Some good ones. Dazed and confused. Gone in 60 seconds. That was a good one. Debbie Does Dallas. Not sure what that one. Waiting. That was a good one. Waiting, like the movie, the restaurant movie. Gone with the Wind. Part-time chemist said, Freddie got fingered. Interesting way to describe your portfolio. The 5 pennies. That's a good one, too. The Hunt for Red October. He said he found it. Bro Kiyoshi said he found it. Anyways, yeah, so what's yours?
I got radio. You know, the guy that wasn't supposed to be there, and you know, he was on the sidelines the whole time. Everyone laughed at him. They loved his personality though. And then over time they said, you get on out there and be somebody. And go play where you're not supposed to. That's how I feel in crypto. Everyone's laughing at me. They laugh at my jokes sometimes. Warm personality. And, well, they let me play with the big boys in traditional finance eventually at the end of the movie. And I go off as a hero.
This is why I think, real quick, do you remember when you were in high school? Were you, or not high school?
I was homecoming king in high school.
When you were in
class of 2002.
Do you remember when you were in elementary school?
One of my greatest achievements.
No, do you remember when you were in elementary school and the teacher told you only color the objects that are round, not the ones that are rectangular, and you would do the ones that are rectangular, not the ones that are round, because you just cannot follow instruction. I don't know what it is with you. The question was
radios. It's my movie.
Describe your portfolio with a movie title, not describe yourself as an investor.
Well, I am my portfolio. We are one and the same. We rallied together. When my portfolio is up, Big Rob is up.
Here's Rob in a nutshell. You ask him for something, he goes a complete U-turn a different way, and then he brings it all back by twisting and turning and somehow making the square peg fit into the round hole. That's Rob. That's Rob in a nutshell. And he's very good at doing that. He's very good at turning that into something that
makes
makes
my movie title.
No, I just
It was
it doesn't
very
fit.
fitting.
It doesn't fit the question.
It's fitting. It absolutely fit.
Describe
If
your
you
portfolio.
think-
Radio.
If you think that my radio movie reference here fits my portfolio narrative like a glove, put a 1 in the chat. If it don't fit and you must have quit, homage to OJ, put a 2 in the chat. I'm curious to see where you guys stand on Big Rob's analogies. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I am my portfolio. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so hard to win an argument against you because you find a way to, you find a way. You're a very resourceful person. You know?
Jenny from the block said, maybe if it was radio silent.
Anyways, guys, I'm picking a winner tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go here. I'll just drop the tweet. You guys go on there, drop your movie title. Trying to have some fun, trying to keep it lighthearted and give away some money. And so go to our Twitter page and type in how you would describe your portfolio, not you. And no, you're not your portfolio for the sake and purpose of this exercise here. And the winner will get $50 in Sire. Okay, a couple of big hitters here. Virtuals Protocol got listed on Robinhood. Shout out to Virtuals. They're continuing to build, man. I still believe in Virtuals. I still hold Virtuals. I do actually think, though, there's maybe 3 or 4 Virtuals ecosystem plays that have more upside than Virtuals themselves. Wire is one of them. Second one is Ribita Capital, TIBBIR. And then there's a couple more. I'm not going to say it here. I might throw it in the Patreon. Give some of our Patreon members who are paying us money, giving them something to be excited about. So, yeah. So, big shout out to Robinhood. I mean, obviously, you're seeing the trend of Gary Gensler's out. We're seeing more listings.
I'm just still a little concerned on price action, though. It's underperforming where I thought. I'm not very bullish on AI narrative. So I wasn't picking Virtuals Protocol to win the race here. I think that BitTensor's way more logical of a play than Virtuals. No hate on Virtuals. I just thought that the price would hold up a lot better than it did. At 75 cents outside the top 100, it's fallen fast. And I don't want to write it off. I would say I'm more 50-50 on will we get a strong rebound, get back up above $1, $2, $3. I'm 50-50 on this, or the trend could just continue. The thing is its strongest AI agents, the ones that it was known for that had market caps, those have fallen even further. They're super far outside there. I know their ecosystem has a lot of potential on some new ones, but the things that kind of it was known for has, what was it? What are the 2 agents that it had? You had Siren.
Which one?
Siren, right? There was that girl, and then
Luna.
There was Luna,
AIXBT.
Siren, AIXBT. There's 3 of them.
I don't remember Siren. What's Siren?
You remember Siren? That was like the one that he really liked. This one, the founder.
Siren? I'm genuinely don't remember this one. That's a Binance coin, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember seeing Siren. Maybe you're thinking of...
You sure?
Well, they're both Asian, CZ and Wiki, so maybe...
Either way, I was assuming that one was. But yeah, the AI 16Z, that one, not doing well. I don't know where that's at. Also, Luna. Those... I know those are old ones, and it's like, hey, the meta's kind of shifted lately, but I don't know. I'm a little concerned on price action. I don't know which way it's going to go. I feel pretty confident in the long-term outlook. I just don't know how that equates to the charts. What do you feel about virtuals?
I feel great. I believe in the team. I think the team's going to come through like they usually do. We've seen this before.
My problem is there's a lot of teams I believe in. I believe in the Near Protocol team. I believe in the ICP team, and
then buy their projects.
But that's not enough. The team ain't enough. You need adoption.
Then you don't believe in the team.
You need the.
Well, the whole thing about believing in the team is you believe they're going to go the right direction and get the adoption.
No,
right?
you can have teams you don't believe in. Like you can have, you can say like Binance, like, hey, I don't believe in their team, but hey, like,
cool. Then buy those too.
They have a market stranglehold on tokenomics.
Then buy those too.
I'm just saying that, like, for me, I can't just do it off of that alone. It's a factor. I think if you have a good team, I think it's very promising. I think it's well. I think it's a piece of the puzzle in investing.
It's the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Oh, I think the users are the product. The product is man.
Do you remember?
And what we always talk about is there users there? The users come for the product.
Correct. But again, if by me saying I believe in the team, I believe that they're going to take it in a direction that is going to bring the users and bring the utility. Think about when Elon bought Twitter. You remember those posts he shared? He said he was going to take it private, which any investor hears that like, okay. He was going to make it free speech. It was going to be rocky. Guess what? He reached out to Larry Ellison. He's like, hey, I'm going to buy this Twitter thing. He's like, yeah, I don't know. What do you need? $2 billion? Is that cool? Why? Because he believed in Twitter? No, he believed in Elon, right?
I agree. There are certain market movers.
Yeah.
Now, if Michael Saylor said, hey, we're starting a Solana fund, or we're buying Solana would instantly go up.
Yeah.
There's certain people that move markets. There's certain people that
people believe in.
Yeah, they believe in. Yeah. And so I'm not saying it's not a factor. I'm just saying that for me, it's just one piece of the puzzle. I can believe in a team, doesn't mean I want to buy the project. That's all I'm saying. I believe in Near Protocol. I believe in the team. I think they're great. Their founders are great. I'm just not buying it. The product, people aren't adopting it. You can sit here and be like, hey, this is the best video game system on the fucking planet. Sega Dreamcast, Neo Geo, Sega CD, whatever it is. Like these are the absolute best console there are. Like the best team behind it. You know, like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. I got you. I get it. Doesn't mean that it's going to work. People got to still use it.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, if I give my stamp of I believe in the team approval, then I'm buying the token. So I put my money where my mouth is, and especially when I tell people I believe in this team, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, I believe in them. I'm not gonna buy it. That's just me personally. All right, let's talk about real quick. I want to talk about gaming. This is something that Rob and I were both excited about. I kind of wrote it off before Rob did. I think Rob's finally kind of wrote it off too. He buried GALA. This is Kieran. He's a founder of Alluvium. This is his manifesto. For a long time, I believed that if we built a game as good as our mainstream competitors, people would come. That was wrong. We assumed that if gameplay was good, ownership would be the cherry on top. It wasn't. To get someone to care about owning something, they first need to want it, and they need to want it for the right reasons. It's fine if that reason is financial, but it has to mimic the psychology of collecting. Pokemon nailed that feeling. No one remembers Pokemon saved on their Game Boy, but everyone remembers the cards they saved in their attic. Blockchain gives us the tools to recreate that emotion online, but it doesn't make it an NFT and people will care. You have to create a connection, and that content and experiences, it takes time, art, story, and lore. That's no shortcut. That's why no one has yet cracked the code. Everyone tried to build ownership first, but ownership only works when desire already exists. I still believe ownership can be the cherry on top, but you still need the cake. And the cake can't taste like every other game out there. You need to build something unique, because if your gameplay feels transient, no amount of tokenization will save it. We've been consolidating for years, but a few of us are still building. If you're one of those ones genuinely trying to create a standout, I'm rooting for you. Real quick, before I get into conversation, I want to give a big thank you to our channel partner, Stake.us. Guys, I mentioned this yesterday. We are doing a special private poker tournament. Only 8 spots, no entry fee, and the winner is going to get $250 worth of free stake cash. We will deposit that right into your stake account. Well, stake account, you need one. If you don't have one, create an account. The link's in the description. Help us out. And while you're on there, make sure you claim your daily free stake cash. Once a day, 365 a year. Redeem that for crypto, and there you go. There's your DCA strategy for absolutely doing nothing. Well, it's 2 clicks. 1 click to log on, 3 clicks. Log on, click, wallet click, claim click. So 3 clicks, $365 every year. Good job. Okay. What do you think about what this guy said? His kind of manifesto and
the Alluvium token dead in the water outside the top 400. It has fallen from grace. Nobody's playing the game. Here's the
fallen
reality.
from grace. How about fallen?
It's way.
How about fallen? How about it has no heartbeat? It literally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what does this mean? My best analogy or best comparison to things that we can relate, because blockchain gaming hasn't materialized. It's something we can't really draw comparison to, right? But I look at Facebook. When Facebook first launched, there was no ads. There was no revenue model. It was just Facebook. They didn't monetize. And they built the product. They brought on the users. They made it as good as possible. Then, after people used it and after people were signed up and had accounts and were there, then they dropped the ads on your ass. And they made boatloads of money. Why am I telling you this story? Because you need to make a game that is good, that people buy, that people play, that people use. Then you bring in the token and the NFTs. That's how it has to be done. You either build a game or you add the monetization to an already developed game. It's one or the other. But if you think you're going to build a game from scratch and have NFTs and tokens and all of that, you're wrong. It's only going to work. It's only going to work if you build it first, it's popular, then you monetize it. That's the unfortunate reality. It's a very tough industry to get into.
What happened to that one Avalanche game? What was it called?
Off the grid?
Yeah. That one was trending. You had the big gamers playing it, and then what happened?
They tried to do what
Fortnite?
I was proposing, which was build the game, make it popular, drop the blockchain on it. And they did that, right? They came out with the game. There was no NFTs. They teased you, say, hey, it's going to come, it's going to come. It looked very promising at first. They spent a ton of money getting big streamers and high-profile people to play it, but it just didn't catch traction. And I don't know. It's just the reality of it. It's a tough industry to get into. Every year, outside of blockchain, every year, there's hundreds of studios releasing games trying to get in the top 10. And very little, if any, if none. A lot of times it's just the same repeat winners in the top 10. It's hard to knock off Roblox and Fortnite and Minecraft and GTA and Call of Duty. They've been there for a while. They got their loyal players.
Yeah.
Maybe here's what I would say is that would be an easier barrier for entry. I would say this. I think that it's more likely for a blockchain game to get off the ground on something that's on your phone, on your iOS. One problem is those typically don't last too long. And so if you had a Candy Crush, I don't know, Sims kind of game. I know there's the Clash thing going on.
Clash Royale.
Yeah.
That game is so fun.
But I think that has more of a likelihood of breaking in and making money, but no.
Yeah, I'm
ready to jump into Web3 and gaming and crypto. I'm ready for it. I've been ready for the pump, but I'm not seeing anything on the horizon that looks good.
I'm not ready.
I thought Off the Grid, as you mentioned, was the one that was going to catch a wave, but
I think everyone kind of thought, and then it fizzled away.
It goes back to what is this bull market fueled by? It's fueled by institutions. Institutions aren't playing games.
Fueled by shit.
If it would have been the people that you work with, the mechanic and the plumber and the bartender, whatever it is, if these people would have been over here buying crypto, YOLOing into projects in the same way that they were in 2021, I would say that, like, hey, people will make money and they'll find things that have to do with crypto that they like playing video games, and they'll gravitate to those. But those people never came in, man. Those people didn't show up, not in masses. And the money that we saw that pumped Bitcoin's price to where it is came off of institutions and people like Michael Saylor, and they're just not going over to Web3 and gaming. There's no interest there.
Flat Smack said the future of gaming is sex robots.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't wrong.
Gamified.
He ain't wrong.
Does Bitcoin fix this? Maybe not. Also, someone earlier said we should have a foot cam.
Foot cam, huh?
That'll do for the show today. Come join me for the trading show in about 5-10 minutes. Just stay in the chat. You'll be redirected automatically. We'll take a look at where the markets are. We're going to be hunting for some shorts. Unless the bottom is in, we'll talk about it. Gino, roll the intro outro. Thank you, everyone. I love you. Keep your heads up. We're going to do just fine. We're going to continue to make money. Hang out with us. We'll see you in the trading show.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.